Barefoot shoes are really expensive. That's not anything new. Leading brands can cost you hundreds of dollars and you're not even sure if you want to get your feet wet in this world yet. Yes, pun intended. Enter the brand Lono and their shoe, the Flow. They have a pretty interesting offering. Barefoot shoes with high quality construction, an ultra minimal feel, and get this, it's just $76 US. First up, the most unique thing about this shoe, which you might notice, is the lacing. It doesn't have a standard shoe or sneaker lacing. It's quite unique. And honestly, I wasn't a big fan at first because you just didn't have that muscle memory when you tried to lace these shoes up. So that's kind of strange to me. Like, it takes a bit of getting used to figure out where these pull and push. But I think once you have it in place, it's basically a slip-on thanks to its flexible knit uppers. It has a really wide toe box, like you can see here, and it is very, very flexible. You can see how easily it rolls up. Now let's talk about some of the quality of life improvements that they've made here, which sort of shows that they really do care about making a really good durable shoe. One, which a lot of other reviewers have pointed out, is around the toe box here, you can see that there are these little notches, and that is so that when you continuously use the shoe and you continuously bend around here, this doesn't sort of separate from the body of the shoe. The sole doesn't separate. Because if you compare that to the Primus Lights right here, you can see, I'm going to do a close-up, there's a bit of separation here going on. And I think that's what Lono was trying to avoid. The other thing is that this shoe is meant to be worn sockless, or at least they encourage you to do so. And to be able to do that without blistering, they've added some padding here. A bit of a heel tab, which isn't super thick, like it's still very barefoot and flexible, but at least this won't cause blisters, which I thought was a nice touch. They also have vegan suede protection here on top, I suppose so your toenail doesn't pierce through the upper. I forgot to mention this whole shoe is vegan, by the way. If you have pets though, if you have a lot of lint at home, the vegan suede will attract it. This is your fault. And at the bottom here, you can see the sole. This shoe has a total of 8 millimeters of stack height. Without the insole, this is 6 millimeters thick, the sole. So 1 millimeter thinner than Vivo Barefoot's Primus Light. They achieve the flexibility with these like triangle-like patterns here. I actually think I've seen this before, similar to one of my old Nike Frees back in the day. And they have grip here around the heel and around the toe. You can see they call the sole the Gone sole. And at the back here on the left foot, they have Lono Flow. And on the right foot, they have Barefoot on it. Look, aesthetically, this shoe is not going to win any sort of fashion awards, but I don't think this was meant to be a fashionable or stylish shoe anyway. It's meant to be more of a training shoe. So I'll give it a pass. And at the very least, it's just a very plain black shoe. In terms of weight, each shoe, this is size 43, it's around 9 ounces or around 256 grams. So overall, it's a pretty minimal design, very snug. Let's actually try to put this on. My first impressions when I put them on are that they are quite snug, a bit snugger than I'm used to. And so I did have to really loosen up these laces, and as I mentioned, it was pretty difficult to figure out how to loosen up the laces, but we were able to get there at the end. And once I was able to figure out the right tightness in terms of the laces, it was a really easy shoe to take off and put back on. Okay, so after trying it a bit indoors, let's actually try it out now for real. So it's been a bit rainy in Sydney lately, so I haven't been able to take this shoe out on any extreme walks or hikes, but for right now, we're just gonna walk around the neighborhood and see what this is like. One thing I've noticed immediately is that on wetter, like concrete surfaces or tiles, this is pretty slippery, so you probably don't want to use this for any serious runs when it's raining. So I've just walked all over gravel, and compared to the Primus Lights, which does have a marginally thinner stack height, this does seem a bit less minimal, just in the sense of me not feeling the pain of stepping on every single rock out there. So that was my first impression. I did wear socks that day because it was a bit cold, but I also wanted to just try this sockless, so I'm gonna do that for a whole work day and just see what happens. So I'm now on my way to work, and I am trying these Lono Flows Sockless, as you can see here. And I guess time will tell if they actually don't make my feet stink, because they are meant to be worn sockless. Like it did say on the actual shoe tree when you unbox it that it's meant to be worn sockless. So I guess we'll see how true that is.
On platform 3.
Okay, just got back home from work and from the gym, and honestly I'm pretty impressed with this shoe. It sort of held up, my feet didn't feel super sweaty all throughout, and ultimately, let's test it. Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. I'll probably just use a foot spray or foot powder next time, but honestly, my feet don't really feel sweaty and don't stink. Which is a win after like 8 or 9 hours with these shoes on. So they passed the Sockless test. Overall, I think this has been a great experience and a great shoe for such an affordable price. I don't really know what other shoes out there are this affordable while providing this much. I'm probably going to make this my primary fitness shoe and my primary training shoe. And only time will tell, I guess, how long this will last. But from how much care they've put into the actual construction of the shoe, I am cautiously optimistic. Now, if you want to check this out, I have links in the video description. Also, if you use this code, you will get 5% off your purchase. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I post Barefoot shoe reviews along with other gear reviews every now and then. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.